My own question. I know why the Democrats are attacking so ruthlessly the President of the United States, because they have nothing on which to run on the November election cycle. They have nothing. All they can do is to attack the president and his policies. They tried to say the tax cuts didn't work. Oh, wait a minute. The economy's now booming. That's not working. They tried to attack on health care. Now, wait a minute. People have more freedom with health care. They've tried so many different avenues. This is all they got.
Well, I think you and I have a very different perspective on a lot of these things. I think our economy is in good shape right now, but we don't know what's going to happen in terms of how these tariffs are going to play out. There are a lot of other issues, of course, family separation and immigration, where the president has fumbled the ball and did not have a plan, kind of like when he went into this meeting with Vladimir Putin, who was, pretty much outmatched him, outwitted him, and made him look like an amateur. And so I really think that this is not about trying to find issues to run on. I think there are plenty of issues to run on. I think what's going on is that the president made a series of errors in terms of this summit in Helsinki. Number one, he usually, as usual, he did not have a clear plan and agenda. He did not have anyone else in the room to advise him. And this is why I think that we do need to subpoena those interpreters. And of course, in the press conference, the comments that he made were absolutely unacceptable. So I think we have plenty to run on aside from all of that.
Well, that sounds like a laundry list of anti-Trump to run on to me. As far as the agenda is concerned, I've heard Democrats harp on this a lot. It sounds a lot like the Obama agenda when he would sit down with Vladimir Putin. Didn't necessarily have agenda items to talk to. What Obama was trying to do was to establish a relationship. And in December of 2016, then President Obama, discussed this. He was asked at one of his final news conferences regarding Vladimir Putin and Russian meddling. And this sounds vaguely familiar to me vis-a-vis what is going on today. I want you to listen. Roll tape.
Hacking that could hamper vote counting, affect the actual election process itself. And so in early September, when I saw President Putin in China, I felt that the most effective way to ensure that that didn't happen was to talk to him directly.
All right, so we glean a couple of things here from President Obama. Number one, he talked to him directly, privately, as did President Trump. He didn't get a lot of grief for that regarding Russian meddling. And number two, that he admitted that he knew about the Russian meddling pretty early on, at least well before the election cycle of 2016 ended.
Well, I would agree with you that there are more things that President Obama could have done. But this is classic whataboutism. The other thing I would say is that President Obama did do certain things and has been tougher or was tougher on Russia in terms of he expelled 35 diplomats and has imposed sanctions upon Russia. Now, again, President Trump is who we're talking about right now. And one thing that President Obama never did was throw his intelligence community under the bus and cast doubt on their findings about Russia and take the word of a dictator who murders his own citizens.
All right, no, that's a
so
good
I think
point.
That this is
good point, Jason. But the Russian meddling took place under Obama's intel community, and that would be Brennan, who's out there throwing firebombs, verbal firebombs via Twitter, like treasonous. This happened under Obama's watch. Yeah. All of this meddling, all of these attacks on our electoral system. It happened under Brennan. It happened under Comey. It happened under the Obama administration.
Sure. Well, look, I would agree with you that I will say that the word treason is a loaded word. It's not quite the terminology that I would use at this particular juncture. I think we do need to find out more about what happened in that meeting. Find out more about, I think this is a perfect time for the president. If he wants to show his legitimacy, he should release his tax returns. He should be very transparent with the American people. This is the time for transparency to show, look, I am the legitimate president of the United States. I misspoke, which we all know that he didn't misspeak. That's absurd. absurd. But, you know, if he really wants to commit to these lies, then he should go ahead and do it.
It's funny, for the Democrats, the Trump tax returns are like the folks who were going after Obama's birth certificate. I don't think it's ever really, really going to happen here. You know, the bottom line, though, I think, Jason, you would admit, I think that the mainstream media's coverage of what happened with Putin was a lose-lose, pre-scripted scenario that no matter what this president did, they were going to come out and criticize, and the Democrats were going to do the darn same thing. Jason, out of time. Thanks.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.